the scripture. And the Lord and the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into the wilderness to kill the whole assembly with hunger. Then said the Lord unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people to go out and gather a certain rate every day, and I will prove them. You say, I may prove them. The Lord said you're going to prove them, that they will walk in my law. No more. And it shall come to pass that on the sixth day, this is instruction. This is the charge. This is the command. And it shall come to pass that on the sixth day, that they shall prepare that which they bring in. And it shall be twice as much as they shall gather daily. And Moses said to Aaron, and Moses and Aaron said to
what
all
does
the
this
children
have
of
to do
Israel,
with Abraham
even,
keeping all of the
then ye
commandments,
shall know that
charges,
the
and
Lord has
statutes
brought you
in
out
chapter
of the land of Egypt.
26 of Genesis? What does this have to do with anything? What did this have to do
And in the
with the
morning,
damn,
ye shall
the
see
whole
glory
established
of the Lord.
sanctified
You shall
day in
see
Genesis
the
chapter
Lord
2? What
for
does this
that
have to do with
he
anything?
heareth your murmuring against the Lord. And what are we that ye murmur against us? And this shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full, for that the Lord heareth the murmuring which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord. And Moses spake unto Aaron, saying to all the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before the Lord, for he hath heard your murmurings, about them being hungry. And how Moses, they thought that Moses brought them out to the wilderness to kill them. But the Lord was preparing them to establish the charge, the commandment, and the instruction of the Sabbath with the children of Israel this day. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmuring of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at evening ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am the Lord of the camp. And in the morning dew lay round about the host. And when the dew they lay was going up, behold, up the face of the wilderness there lay small things, as small as the hoar frost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna, for they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread the Lord has given you to eat. They didn't want that. They wanted something else. And this is the thing which the Lord had commanded, gathering of it every man according to his eating, the omer of every man according to the number of his person. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. Now, mind you, this is the day before the Sabbath. This is the 15th day. He's telling you to do this on the 15th day, which is the day before the Sabbath, which is the 16th day, and not Saturday. Saturday instruct you to every 7th Saturday of the Roman calendar to do this. He told you to do it on every 15th day of the moon, right? And the Lord and the children of Israel did so and gathered some more, some less. And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moses said, let man leave it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they heard not unto Moses, but some of them did what they wanted to do. They left it there until the morning. And the worms ate the bread, right? And it stank. And Moses was wroth with them. because they were not following the instruction as the Lord was giving them the sabbatical, just like the Israelites are doing today, as I'm giving you the instructions from the Lord. And it came to pass, on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much. We're talking about the 6th day, the day before the Sabbath, dummy. And it came to pass that on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much because they followed the instruction. The Lord told them to gather up, to make the provisions on the 6th day, because the Sabbath is the day of rest, you dumb clowns. And it came to pass that on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came to Moses. And he said unto them, this is which the Lord has said, tomorrow is the rest of the Sabbath unto the Lord. I just told y'all that because y'all didn't believe me until we got to verse 23. All of this was done for the purpose of making provisions because the next day was the Sabbath. And right here in 23, that is the instruction, that is the charge, that is the command. He said unto them, this is that which the Lord has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy day unto the Lord. Bake that which ye shall bake today. You ain't never seen these type of instructions given to no man, no other man. Abraham wasn't given these instructions, nor did he know them. Adam wasn't given these instructions, for he was born on the 6th day and didn't even work 7 days to have a Sabbath. You guys are silly and stupid. He said unto them, this is that which the Lord said, tomorrow is the rest. That's the 16th day. Tomorrow, not Saturday, the 16th day of the moon. And he said unto them, that which the Lord has said, tomorrow, which is the 16th day, is the day of rest unto the holy Sabbath of the Lord. Bake that which ye shall bake.
Dude, you saying the most dumbest shit.
That ye
trying
will
to
see.
butcher these
And
scriptures. The dumbest
that which
shit.
remained is overlay up for you to keep
This
until the
has
morning.
nothing to do with the Abraham
And
26,
they
Genesis
laid it
26
up
with
till the
Abraham
morning,
keeping the
and
commandments. Nothing
as
to do with
Moses
it.
bade, and it did not stink.
You're just trying to make
neither
yourself more intelligent
worms
than
in
you
it,
are,
because
which
they
is
did what Moses
not much.
said do. But when they didn't do what he said do, then it had worms in them because they did not follow the instructions. The sabbatical instructions. These are sabbatical instructions. These are sabbatical charges. These are sabbatical commandments. You won't find this given to no other man prior to Moses. And Moses said, eat that today, for today is the Sabbath unto
This
the Lord.
dumb nigga thinks that
Today
Genesis 1
shall
all the
not
way up to
find
Exodus
it in the
18
field.
don't contain nothing to do
6
with the other
days
people
ye shall
besides
gather it.
you're dumb as hell.
On the
You're dumb
7th
as
day,
fucking hell.
which is the Sabbath, there shall be none. That is an instruction. And that's a charge.
The whole
and that's a
entire book of
commandment.
Genesis is
God
instructions,
didn't
you
give that to
idiot.
Moses. I mean, to Abraham. Did Abraham keep the Sabbath? No. Abraham was not charged. I'm proving to you that Moses was charged. I'm proving to you that Moses was instructed. I'm proving to you that Moses was commanded. In fact, I ain't even got to read from Genesis 1, right, all the way up to Exodus 16. All I got to do is read the whole Abraham story. And you won't find nowhere that Abraham was charged. You won't find nowhere where Abraham was instructed. You won't find nowhere where
And you ain't
Abraham
supposed
was
to find it. You ain't supposed to find it,
concerning
you
the
idiot.
Sabbath. He was only charged with the commandments that God gave him prior to himself. And this is a fact. God ain't gonna charge. That's stupid. And that's an evil, wicked ass God to charge Moses with some shit that came 1,000 years later after he was born. That's silly, stupid, and that's an unjust God, man. I don't worship that type of God. Worship that type of God. You take your ass and that type of God somewhere the fuck over there.
So this nigga said Moses was not the seed of Abraham? That's dumb.
6 days shall ye gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath,
it really shouldn't have been a discussion, but he made it a discussion.
Be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none, because they were breaking the law. They were breaking the commandments. They were breaking the statutes. Moses said, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? How long? He was concerned because the Most High gave him the charge. And if y'all gonna start off effing up, my goodness.
I wonder if I asked the
For
school, did
see,
Abraham
for
did Abraham have
that
any
the Lord
oral
hath
law?
given
Did
you the
Abraham have
Sabbath.
any oral law? Are you an idiot?
See, for that the Lord hath given you, Israel. This don't say, see, for that the Lord has given Abraham the Sabbath. It don't say that the Lord has given Adam the Sabbath. Exodus 16:29 say, see,
The Sabbath was for the
comma,
entire planet,
for
dummy.
the Lord has given you the Sabbath, comma. Therefore, he giveth you, Israel, not Abraham, on the sixth day, the bread of 2 days. He didn't get that to Abraham. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the Sabbath day. That's the instruction, that's the charge, that's the command.
For
Show
Israel.
me that shit
For
with Abraham.
Israel, stupid. We didn't talk about Israel, though. We talk about Abraham.
Liars. And I'm willing to separate from all you fucking liars today until you humble to the goddamn truth.
Yeah,
So
you trash.
the Lord rested
Nobody
on the
really
Sabbath day.
gonna pay attention to you.
And the
anymore.
house of Israel called the name thereof manna. And it was like coriander seed, white. And the taste of it was like wafer made with honey.
Be quiet, be quiet. I've been saying this 13 times.
And Moses said,
Be quiet,
this
be quiet,
is the
be quiet,
thing.
be quiet.
And Moses said that is the thing, right? Which the Lord commandeth. Did Abraham say that this was the thing that the Lord commanded concerning the Sabbath? No. Did Abraham say that this was the thing that the Lord instructed concerning the Sabbath? No. Is this the thing that Abraham was charged concerning the Sabbath?
Do we
No.
read
You
anywhere
won't
that
find
Abraham took a shit?
nowhere.
No, but we know he did, though, right?
And Moses said to the children of Israel, take a pot. Oops. Okay, and Moses said, this is the thing which the Lord commandeth. Fill the omer of it to be kept for your with I have. Right? Not Adam. Not nobody that existed before Moses. When I brought you, Israel, out of the land of Egypt, not Abraham. Abraham was in Egypt in the Moses said unto Aaron, take the pot and put the omer full of manna therein and lay it upon before the Lord. Keep it before your generations. And the Lord commanded to keep. All of this is cyclical. And I have proven that the command, that the charge, the instruction of the Sabbath was given to Moses. You won't find no instruction concerning the Sabbath, and you won't find no commandment concerning the Sabbath with Abraham. And all we got to do is go back to Genesis 12. Now we're going to read this whole chapter just like we did the other. Abraham, get thee out of the country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house
unto the land that I will show thee. And I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and I will make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them, bless thee, and I will curse thee, them that curse thee. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
Because Abraham hearkened to my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my instructions. Get around that. Get around that. Just because it doesn't say word for word what there was and what there was not, does not exempt that from being part of the equation. The Sabbath day was established in Genesis chapter 2, period. The Sabbath gave to Israel had nothing to do beyond the fact that it needed to be reiterated to them again because they was in Egypt learning the ways of Egyptians. That was the problem. But they even know these guys want to feel that it's all about Israel's whole thing and Abraham don't count, you gotta be an idiot. Because if it wasn't for Abraham, you wouldn't have no Israel. But I'll let y'all keep hearing this clown butcher this, because that's all he's doing is butchering it. Because the subject wasn't even about that. Subject was about Abraham.
A mountain on the east of Bethel. And he pitched a tent, having Bethel on the west and high on the east. And there he built an altar unto the Lord, and he on the name of the Lord, and Abraham journeyed, going on still towards the south. And there was a famine in the land, and Abraham went down into Egypt and sojourned there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he had come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai, his wife, behold, I know that thou art a fair woman and a child. Look how far we got down into Abraham saga. There's no instruction, sabbatical instruction. There's no sabbatical charge. Right? He said, I give this to you, Israel. He didn't say give this to Abraham. And you won't find it given to Abraham. It's a straight out lie. I'm going to read it. We haven't found it yet. Therefore it came to pass, when the Egyptians shall see there, that they shall say, this is his wife, and they shall kill me, but they will save life. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live before thee. No sabbatical charge, no sabbatical commands, no sabbatical nothing. And it came to pass that when Abraham was come into Egypt, that Egyptians held the woman, that she was very fair. The princess also of Pharaoh saw her and commanded her. Now, this is the only time a command was ever given in the saga of Abraham in Genesis 12. And it wasn't from the Lord. And it wasn't a command to Abraham. It was a command from Pharaoh to the house of Pharaoh. No Sabbath, none of that. And the princess also saw her, let's go back, and commanded her before the Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into the house of Pharaoh. They commanded, there was no sabbatical instruction, no sabbatical charge, no sabbatical command. These commands were not sabbatical. And he entered Abraham well for her sake, and he had sheep and oxen and asses and manservants and maidservants and she asses and camels. And the Lord plagued Abraham and his house with great plagues because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. No sabbatical charge yet, no sabbatical command, no sabbatical instructions. Pharaoh called Abraham and said, "That is this that thou hast done. What is this that thou hast done unto me? Why did thou not tell me she was thy wife?" This stuff ain't got nothing to do with the Sabbath. And he need to be proven to me that Abraham kept a Sabbath. Why sayest thou, she is thy sister? So I might take her to me to wife. Now, therefore, behold my wife. Oh boy, take her and go away. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and away, and his wife, and all they had. All I know is that Genesis chapter 12 is a horrible scripture that Abraham kept the Sabbath. We ain't asking you whether he kept God's commandments. He kept the commandments that God gave him. God didn't give him the Sabbath. Yes, he kept all that God gave him, but God hadn't given him the Sabbath. Let's go to 13. Abraham went up out of Egypt, he and his wife. He didn't say he kept the Sabbath, though. And he went his journey from south, even to Bethel, unto the place where he at the beginning between Bethel and Hai, unto the place of the altar which he had made there at first. And Abraham called with him, had flocks and herds and tents. And the Lord was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, that there was strife between the herdsmen of Abraham's cattle and the herdsmen of Lot's cattle. The Canaanite and the Perizzites dwelleth in the land. Abraham said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdsmen and thy herdsmen. For we, brethren, nothing to do with the Sabbath. You have nowhere in this text said anything about Abraham kept the Sabbath. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes, and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere before the Lord, Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest to Zoar. Then chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves to one from another. Abraham dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent toward Sodom. Nothing about a Sabbath, about a charge, about an instruction, nothing about a commandment. But the men of Sodom were wicked, sinners before the Lord exceedingly. And the Lord said unto Abraham, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward and southward and eastward and westward, for all the land which thou seest, that to thee will I give thee, and to thy seed forever. Nothing about a Sabbath. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, that thy seed also will be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. Then Abraham removed his tent and came and dwelled in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar of the Lord. Now we at 12 and 13, we see that God nowhere commanded, instructed, or charged Abraham with the Sabbath. Therefore, he didn't keep it. He didn't know about it.
Now you saying the nigga
He didn't know about
he
it.
didn't know
way
about it,
later.
right? He didn't know about it, right? He didn't
Let's
know about
go
it till way
chapter
later. But how did he
14.
know about it way later when it established by your own statement said it was established when Abraham was already dead? You're playing yourself. You're playing yourself big time.
All of this lies y'all saying about Abraham thus far. Chapter 14, and it came to pass
Abraham went to the
in
grave,
the
not knowing when the
days
Sabbath
of
day was, right?
Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Kedar-Loamar, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations, that these made war with Bara, king of Sodom, and with Barsha, king of Gomorrah, Shanab, king of Admah, and Shamimbar, king of Zoabim, king of Bela, which is Zorah. All these were joined together in Vail and Siddim, which is the Salt Sea. Nothing about a Sabbath. There's nothing in the scripture that said that Abraham kept a Sabbath. 12 years they served Lamar, and in the 13th year they rebelled.
Apparently,
and in the 14th
apparently
year
this
came
nigga think Abraham never ever heard
and
about the
the
Sabbath day.
king that
What
were
an
with
idiot.
him, and
I'm gonna leave it
smote
at that.
the Raphims and Asterisk Karnaim, and the Zuzaims in Ham, and the Emims in